This season on Bachelor in Paradise, contrary to popular opinion, we came this far precisely to come this far. Because that's how a season of television works.
I didn't come this far just to come this far.
I did not come this far to come this far.
After enduring 10 grueling weeks of seashell-adorned clothing, establishing shots of the Hotel Azura sign, a terrible cover of the theme song, the return of that terrible cover after the show went back to the original for a few weeks, and a sneak peek of Hannah Brown's Tight 5.
Men just can't find a dang thing. The booty could be right in front of them, and they're like, where's the booty, where's the booty? I'm like, the booty's right there, man.
We've finally arrived at the season finale of Bachelor in Paradise, and it was, without a doubt, the end of the season.
It pisses me off talking about this.
As Bip returned from a hiatus many thought was an outright cancellation, it was obvious going into this 10th season that the show would make major changes. And after this finale, it's obvious what changes still need to be made. But before we talk more about them, and before the cast can go home to start experiencing mild symptoms of alcohol withdrawal,
I'm drunk.
they all have a cocktail party to attend as a precursor to the rose ceremony they also need to go to. Of the 5 remaining couples, 2 more will be eliminated. Kathy and Keith are quitting, so that's 1. Alex and Andrew are immune from getting stabbed the least number of times, and Jess and Spencer are basically immune too, because the only person who was ever willing to target them was Sean. Weirdly, when they actually were immune. That means that either Bailey and Jeremy or Kat and Dale will be the first couple to be the last couple eliminated at a rose ceremony. Jeremy feels the most confident about staying because of his friendships with people in each couple.
I have friends in every couple here.
I mean, I have loyalty to Bailey, and I have loyalty, I guess, to Jeremy.
We don't want to split, but I don't want to vote for y'all.
You guys remind me a little bit of my marriage. My husband was much like you. He was quiet, he was reserved, and when he had something to say, people listened.
That's how people saw Jeremy? This guy?
You said 10 minutes?
10 minutes, I mean.
All right, I'm going to take it.
Time.
That's one reserved young man, or adult.
And I respect you as a young man, young adult, I should say.
Thank you.
And the relationship that you have, you as a young woman, too.
No correction for Bailey? But despite all his friends in low places, when the rose petals have settled, Jeremy and Bailey are voted out along with Keith and Kathy. On day 20, the final 3 couples compete in another relationship test, Weight of the World.
You're going to be holding on to handles that are tethered to weights, specific to the amount of combined body weight between both you and your partner.
I'm big.
If at any point one of you starts to get tired, your partner can decide to carry more of the weight. But if the weight gets too heavy or the weight falls too close to the ground, whoever can carry the weight of the world the longest not only wins this relationship test, but they also will move directly into the final round of your journey to find love.
Before, the relationship tests were testing things like how well people knew their partners, how much they had in common, and how well they could communicate. Theoretically, if their walkie-talkies worked. But now we're just testing brute physical strength. Holding up your body weight is
Literally?
a challenge they do almost every season on Survivor, except the backdrop is the ocean instead of a pool.
He's playing Survivor. He's not playing Bachelor in Paradise.
And now, so is everyone else. During the challenge, Kat and Dale are confident that they'll win because they fancy themselves the most fit couple. Then when they're the first out, they blame the equipment.
Dale and Kat are out.
How did that disappear? Right in. I'll pull farther back.
Spencer is also extremely confident, so he talks a big game about wanting to hold even more weight, but that backfires because he and Jess also eventually lose. Meanwhile, Jesse Palmer taunts the cast by relaxing poolside with a good book, but that also backfires when he can't pronounce the title.
He's reading a book.
You guys ever read The Brothers Karamazov by Dostoevsky?
No one on that set could tell him it's Brothers Karamazov. Alex and Andrew win the challenge after 45 minutes, the best case scenario after the other 2 couples were both overly confident in their abilities. But the best case scenario would have been if this purely physical challenge that had no business being on this show wouldn't have been on the show. Like, imagine if Keith and Kathy had to do this challenge. Back at the resort, Spencer tells Jess that he's in love with her just one day after deciding not to do that so she didn't feel rushed and freak out. But Jess immediately says it back, even though last we heard,
I just want to, wholeheartedly know that I'm 100% in love with him. Last thing I want to do is force something that I don't feel like I'm ready for.
In a classic Bachelor rapid escalation, Jesse Palmer shows Spencer a selection of Neil Lane engagement rings. He chooses a much less gaudy option than we usually see. That's how gaudy most of Neil Lane's jewelry is. All that's left is for Jess and Spencer to survive until the end so he can propose and she can interview about not wanting to get engaged, then ultimately say yes. But it's not up to them whether or not they'll compete in the finale. It's up to a jury of all the eliminated couples and an overly complicated format. To advance to the final alongside Alex and Andrew, the jury can vote for Jess and Spencer, Kat and Dale, or neither if they don't think either relationship is good enough, or if they're just feeling spiteful like Jeremy.
I'm voting that only Alex and Andrew move forward tomorrow. Dale and Spencer, just returning the favor.
If two couples make it to the finale, then they'll each compete for $250,000. But if it's just Alex and Andrew, then they can win the full $500,000. That the prize money was suddenly potentially cut in half stresses Alex out because she wanted to use the winnings to pay off her massive student loan debt.
I have triple-digit student loans. I said if I win, I would get $251,000 in my bank account.
I figure she means six figures, because if she really had triple-digit student loans, then the $1,000 she already had in her bank account would have been enough to pay them off in full. As the eliminated couples enter, it's pretty obvious who thinks the jury twist will benefit them and who doesn't. But instead of catching up with the returning couples or hearing people debate how to vote, the episode just sort of cedes itself to Sean for a while. It refers to the jury by the name of his defunct alliance, the Parliament of Paradise, and it zeroes in on him and Alicia because they're willing to make jackasses out of themselves for airtime.
Ready?
Yes.
They accuse Kat of sneaking a laptop into Paradise, then using it to contact her ex, Sean's mutual friend, telling him that she only came back on the show to advance her career, even though I'm pretty sure she's a nurse. Charging someone with being on a Bachelor show for the wrong reasons is like accusing someone of being the killer in a game of Mafia. But it's hard to take Sean and Alicia's accusations too seriously, partly because they claim to have receipts but never show them, and partly because Sean is holding a fork the entire time he's talking. Also, it's obvious that Sean and Alicia don't care about helping the jury make an informed decision and just want to embarrass Kat.
Can we leave?
We're ready to go back to Tampa.
That's all we came back for.
Because they're both bitter at her for different reasons. Sean because she denied their friendship, and Alicia because she and Kat both wore the same color to this cocktail party. At the same time, Kat seems kinda guilty.
He completely twisted everything. And I'm not in the place to even defend myself right now because this is insane and I'm done having my business out there. Did me and my ex still have a relationship prior to this? Yes, because I didn't think I was gonna meet anybody here. That is something I'm happy to talk to you about in private, but I'm not gonna do this. I'm not doing this.
I want her to come up here and talk about it, because my thought is to be like, oh, if I didn't actually do that, I would first thing I'd stand in it.
Yeah.
Stand in it.
As she and Dale are walking out, Kat does deny texting her ex by fixating on Sean's use of the word texting because she doesn't have her phone. But she ignores one of the other words he used.
She actually stashed a laptop.
Eventually, just Dale reemerges at the cocktail party to explain that even though Kat may have been secretly writing to her ex, they still deserve to move on to the finale because she's also been writing him letters every day. He even brings one as a prop. The group listens to Dale's speech, but is mostly mad at Sean.
That was a total lack of respect for Dale and his girlfriend.
You mean Kat? To deal with the awkwardness of everyone being against them, Alicia drinks a lot of champagne while Sean drinks his own Kool-Aid.
Here's the thing. If you're gonna take shots at me, don't miss, because it might come back to haunt you.
It doesn't count as a missed shot if you're only back because of a secret twist no one could plan for. At the end of the night, the jury picks which couple, if any, will advance to the final with Alex and Andrew. Of the 14 jury votes, we're privy to 2 of them. If a person votes in Paradise but no one sees who they voted for, then did the vote even really happen? I guess, because the next morning on day 21, the last day, it's revealed that Jess and Spencer made it into the finale. Kat and Dale may have been eliminated, but she's just glad to have survived the night.
Tonight should have been a night where we were celebrating love, maybe giving some closure to certain friendships, but instead it just got really dark really fast.
So you admit it, you and Sean were friends? On her way out, Kat decides that allegedly talking to her ex was a good thing because Dale defended her anyway and no guy had ever stuck up for her before. She promises that this will be her last summer in paradise, but she left engaged before and still had to come back, so we'll see. In the episode's final act, the show wastes an impressive amount of time drawing out the same uninspired prisoner's dilemma that inevitably pops up like an invasive species in any dating show with a cash prize. And this one is especially dull.
The money is not the prize.
Oh.
It's the final test. Now, if you choose love, you'll head to the VIP suite or you'll wait for Alex to arrive. If Alex also chooses love, you'll both be reunited, but in choosing love, you'll be walking away from potentially guaranteeing yourself the $250,000.
It's not like I expected anyone to pick the money unless Alex and Andrew had made a secret off-camera plan to get back together after her check cleared. But by framing it as a test instead of just a chance to win cash, the producers implied that there was a right and wrong choice. And by hinting that people could still win money even if they picked love, the right choice, the producers took whatever stakes did exist and sent them home in the van with Dale and Kat. Everyone passes the test by choosing their partner. Alex accepts Andrew's offer to become his girlfriend, and Jess says yes to Spencer's proposal. What did I say would happen? So he can propose and she can interview about not wanting to get engaged, then ultimately say yes.
We might be getting engaged today, baby.
No.
Do you think you would get engaged at this point?
I want to get there, but at the same time, well, not yet. This morning, I am feeling a little bit drained. I don't want him to think that I'm ready to do all that. There's a part of me that I'm like, oh, Jess, don't do this. Like, don't do this. Oh my God.
For choosing love, both couples get a reward, even though this show is constantly stressing that love is the reward.
On this tray are 3 envelopes with significant amounts of money, up to $250,000.
What?
So which envelope is it going to be?
Alex and Andrew pull $125,000 by leaving with not only a boyfriend, but also enough money to fully pay off her student loans. Alex is undoubtedly the winningest winner in Bipstery. And Jess and Spencer get $190,000 because they're both left-handed.
Okay, my initial thought is like middle because I'm just like, let's go.
That's my initial thought too.
But then I'm like, we're both left-handed.
It's left.
I wouldn't care if it was 25.
It can be a couple bucks.
It's one penny.
We get it. You don't care about winning money. Sure seemed pretty excited when you did, though.
$190,000. At first I thought it said like 19 and I was like, hey, hell yeah, that's good enough. And then I saw all the zeros following it.
He said significant amount of money. Why would it be $19? To celebrate their win, Jess does an impression of Spencer that makes me realize we didn't get a sense of his personality at all.
When I saw him stand up and be like, hey, someone get my baby some sunscreen. My skin's burning.
That's a really good Spencer impression.
Yeah.
Oh, you should see her other impressions of me. Apparently,
So I've gotten really good at
the charades were really, yeah.
You can't talk during charades. As the episode and the season ends,
This is the best day of my life.
the couples head to the beach so the men can hold their new girlfriends and or fiancés above the water. And after 0 couples from season 9 stayed together, I'm sure the show was thrilled to reveal via text on screen like it's the end of Animal House that all of the romantic couples within the final 5 are still together. Jess and Spencer, Alex and Andrew, and Bailey and Jeremy are all planning to move in together within the next year, and Kat and Dale are planning to move closer to each other.
Me and Dale have obviously been the one couple that has moved to a different level.
And just like that, paradise is paradone. Thank you so much for watching, and to everyone who's engaged with me all season long about this, frankly, pretty strange chapter in Bipstery. I'll be back soon with other videos about other TV shows. In the meantime, if you're so inclined, please like and subscribe and turn on notifications to be notified about the next video. Thanks again and see you then. Bye!